Well, in Cape Town earlier, police fired rubber bullets to disperse angry protesting community members outside the Klawer police station. This came after the arrest of a suspect in connection with the murder of a 13-year-old child. Body parts were allegedly found in a drain pipe on Daniel Smith's property in Klawer. It's a bit complex at this stage. Now, let's bring in our reporter here at eNCA, Ronald Masinda, who's been following this case. Good afternoon, Ronald. Thank you for joining us from our studios in Cape Town. What can you tell us about the suspect here? What's happening?
Well, 56-year-old Daniel Smith, he is a resident of Klawer and has worked in the rail sector for over 30 years. Now, it's believed that he believes in Satanism and that the killing of the 13-year-old could be a satanic ritual that he had performed, given that also on the day it is suspected that those who believe in such rituals celebrate by perhaps killing someone in return and also perhaps also eating the body parts. So that's just how gruesome the details are behind this death. But what we can tell you, brother, and this is a conversation that we had with the lawyer that is defending Mr. Smith, is that he has confessed to the killing of this 13-year-old boy, and while he tried to dispose of his body in a sewage pipe, but also he has also confessed that he has been behind at least 4 deaths, killing 4 people during his time. And his, I suppose, love affair with Satanism started when he was influenced at the age of 13. It's believed that someone in that area of the West Coast tried to lure him, and he fell in love with the teachings. And then at the age of 19, he also became a Satanist with a group in Sea Point, where it's believed that they killed quite a number of people, sometimes disposing of their remains at sea. The lawyer saying that all of those people who were behind these killings with him have since died. But serious allegations, Bradan, and also concerns that there could be more deaths that could link Mr. Smith. Because when we left Klawer, which is on the west coast, about 3.5 hours away from Cape Town, we were told that police are also investigating other perhaps body parts that might be found in Mr. Smith's yard. Because what we also have learned is that for several years, people of Klawer, very small farming community, they have been left with unanswered questions, losing loved ones, people just going missing. Sometimes body parts have been found, in a lot of cases not. And the concerns in that area is also over a lack of policing, because even when we arrived in Klawer yesterday, when we first covered the story, we were told that a number of police had to come outside from that area, especially in areas such as Paarl, and we saw quite a heavy policing presence in and around the actual crime scene. But what we've been told by the lawyer is that Mr. Smith has come forward, he has made a confession, and that he has killed at least 4 people. She says that more details will emerge as time goes on, because she has had very little contact with him since he has been kept in police custody. But he is expected to reappear once again in court on the 26th of April.
And I understand, Ronald, this confession by Mr. Smith has understandably angered the community.
Yes, very much so. And we saw very ugly scenes earlier on where community members and other people who come from other areas on the West Coast, they were demanding that the police release this man so that they can take care of him. They were basically baying for his blood, Bradan, and that was just after his very first court appearance, where he is facing 4 charges, including that of murder, and people were just up in arms. They wanted to deal with this alleged perpetrator, because the sequence of events, actually on Wednesday, the mother of the 13-year-old discovered that he wasn't at home, and that was late on Wednesday. And when she asked around, community members told her that, your son, we actually saw him, he was knocked over while Mr. Smith was driving, and then following that, they saw the son being taken by Mr. Smith, who put him in his bakkie, and that was the last time that they saw the 13-year-old. The mother went to the police station. She reported the matter with the police, and she felt that the police were not attending to the case the way that she wanted to. And for a couple of days, it emerged on Friday only that the dismembered body of this 13-year-old was found in the yard of Mr. Smith. And the mother has been very much emotional. We saw it today collapsing just after Mrs. Smith's court appearance, and she believes that, police could have done more, perhaps even saved her son's life, because she said that she felt that, it was an urgent matter that needed to be dealt with urgently by police, and she feels that the police have failed her. And also these are the similar sentiments shared by the CPF chairperson of that area. Let's take a listen.
We were actually furious that the community go to that house and burn it down, but this morning and every day they recover some more evidence to bring this guy to book for what he have done to in our community and also to that child. But they also look into more in other cases also. They investigate, and the investigation going more wider than we expected to go to.
We've heard reports of missing children. How many are we talking about here in terms of the years? How far does their missing bodies take back?
Yeah, we in 2019 we had Geneva, the 11-year-old daughter who get lost, and we still looking for her. She's still missing. And then in 2020 we had Janine Bottom. It's a mother of a child. I think she's around about 30 years old, and she's also still missing. And the police is looking into that also.
Okay, the comment there by local community members of Klawer, ending that report by Ronald Masinda.